Now our next speaker is a self-made entrepreneur, investor, YouTuber, and founder of Ecom Freedom, a proven step-by-step Amazon FBA course with over 500 plus students worldwide and growing. Starting with zero knowledge, experience, or connections, he took a bet on himself at age 21 and started his first online business while breaking free from the 9-to-5 mindset. Within 18 months of starting his business, he went on to make his first $1 million and is now teaching others how to do the same. Through his company, Ecom Freedom, as well as his popular YouTube channel with over 250,000 subscribers, he has helped millions of people around the world change their lives and achieve ultimate freedom by growing successful online businesses. Now teaching you the mindset it takes to become successful on Amazon, please welcome our next speaker, Dan Voss.
3, 2, 1.
I remember the first day I found out about Amazon FBA. It was an early spring evening in March 2017, several years ago. And at the time I was actually just watching YouTube videos. I was just trying to figure out a way to make money online. I was going down the YouTube rabbit hole. And one of the videos that I actually stumbled upon was this kid, literally 21 years old. And he was showing off his Lamborghini. He was showing off how much money he was making with Amazon FBA. And at the time I had no idea what Amazon FBA was. I had heard that you can actually sell on Amazon. I had heard that people were actually making money with it, but I had no idea how, what, why, when, how to even start. And I was immediately hooked. I mean, this guy was like 21 years old. He was talking about how he was a college dropout and how just through Amazon FBA, he was able to achieve financial freedom at such an early age. He was able to buy a Lamborghini from his earnings with his Amazon business that he had started not even 6 months prior. So for me, this was a massive almost like epiphany that I had watching this video, because up until that time I had watched some other people on YouTube talking about other online business models. I had watched some videos about affiliate marketing. I watched some videos about stocks. I watched some videos about cryptocurrency even, but nothing really struck me as much as Amazon FBA. And watching this kid just succeed just like that with no formal training, with no prior experience, just starting, going at it and succeeding. And so, for somebody who was also 21 years old, at the time I was 21, and I was looking for a way to make money online, for me, that was just a massive wake-up call. And I, from then on, dove down into the rabbit hole of Amazon FBA. That's how I got started. So let me give you a bit of a background. At the time I was 21 years old, I was still in university studying business, and I was actually also working a 9-to-5 job. At the time, I thought that I was one of the luckiest university students. I thought I was one of the luckiest 21-year-olds because I had secured a job at a bank called Scotiabank, one of the big banks in Canada. And so for me, that was huge. And I actually got my own cubicle with my own name on it. When I first started this job, I was so excited. And for the first 3 weeks, I was wearing a suit to work. I was so proud. Well, lo and behold, 3 weeks later, I was miserable already. I knew that, okay, looking at myself, I needed to do something with my life. I always felt like I could do so much more. And for some reason, I don't know why, but I always felt like I was destined for greatness. If you felt that way, if you feel like you're destined for greatness, and maybe you haven't started your journey yet, maybe right now you're not super happy with where you're at, but if you feel that is such an important indicator of potential future success, because some people don't feel that, and you really have to feel that if you want to succeed at anything. And so specifically at that time, I felt that so hard, so much, that every day that I would go to work, it just motivated me more. Now, around that same time, and for about a year before that, I also read a lot of books. I had read almost over 100 entrepreneurial and success books, a lot of, the $100 Startup, Lean Startup, Rework, and all these books at the time that were very popular. I had also read one very, very substantial book that completely changed and altered the course of my life. And this book was called Rich Dad Poor Dad by Robert Kiyosaki. I'm sure you're familiar. Most people that get into entrepreneurship, this is the book that really leads them into it, because this book makes you wake up and makes you realize, whoa, everything that I've been taught so far in my life it seems like it's a lie. It seems like it's not really going to get me what I want in my life. And so as I was reading all these books, there were a few books that really, really changed the course of my life. So the first one being Rich Dad Poor Dad by Robert Kiyosaki. Write these down, because these are so important. These are such transformational books. The earlier you read them, the more your life will change and the more success you'll have. I guarantee it. So Rich Dad Poor Dad, Robert Kiyosaki. Number 2, The Millionaire Fastlane by MJ DeMarco. Fantastic book. It's actually a book that made me move to Scottsdale, Arizona, which is where I'm at right now. And I've been here ever since, and it's absolutely beautiful. I love it. Unscripted by MJ DeMarco as well. So you make sure that you read that in that order. Rich Dad Poor Dad, The Millionaire Fastlane, Unscripted. Then Think and Grow Rich by Napoleon Hill, which is obviously a classic. And then finally, another little known book, Outwitting the Devil by Napoleon Hill. So like I said, I had read about close to 100 books on entrepreneurship and success by that time, and I was stuck in this long cycle of basically just reading, but not knowing how to actually make the money. So I think that you could probably relate. If you've been absorbing all this self-development content and all these videos and all these books, but you haven't actually tried to start a business, you haven't actually pulled the trigger, then now is the time. Now is the time to actually get started. And so for me, when I found out about Amazon FBA, I actually didn't even realize that it was even an option. I didn't realize it was an option to start a business that just replaced my income and made me 5K, 10K, 20K a month in profit. I didn't even know that was a possibility. And so for myself, I didn't even realize that there was an in-between, that I didn't have to do the 9 to 5, and I also didn't have to start the next $1 billion idea. I could just start a business that would, I could focus on getting it to 5K, 10K, 20K a month in profit. When I realized that was a possibility, that completely changed my whole paradigm. It completely changed my perception. And that's when I realized I got this fire under my ass, and that's when I realized, okay, let's go. We're going to push it. We're going to pedal to the metal. We're going to go, and we're going to make this successful. And it's funny because that night when I found out about Amazon FBA, by the time I finished watching a bunch of videos, going down the Amazon rabbit hole, I knew that the following morning I'd have to wake up at 6, and still live my old life. And then I started wondering, wow, like when will I finally be able to live this passive income lifestyle, and will Amazon FBA be the business that gives it to me, right? And in reality, that's when one thing I didn't really understand at the time, and now that I understand really well, no business will ever give you any success or any freedom. It's all you. The business is just a wealth vehicle. I didn't really get that at the time. So the next morning, I woke up, I made my coffee, I got in the car, drove to work. But from that day on, as I went to work, and even when I was studying, when I was at school, I always had a minimized Google Chrome window open with Amazon FBA video, some kind of Amazon FBA video playing, because I was so interested. Now, mind you, one thing that I will say is that by that time, I actually already tried other online businesses before. I had tried SMMA, so I tried to start a social media marketing agency, which was okay. We got a couple clients, but the issue became that I had no skill. I didn't really know how to get the results for the clients, because you actually have to be a good marketer to get results for your clients. You can't just really learn Facebook ads in 2 seconds from a course, and at the time, courses weren't even good at all. In 2017, most courses were very basic and very expensive. Now times have changed. I became part of that revolution and that improvement in e-learning. But I tried SMMA, I tried affiliate marketing, and nothing really worked, which made me even more excited about pursuing the e-commerce Amazon FBA opportunity. So what happened? I found every single course that I could find, and me and my friend, I told my friend the next day about Amazon FBA. He also wanted to quit his job, and he also shared this entrepreneurial dream. He also felt that he was destined for greatness, and so we decided both to basically invest in courses, and we decided to both learn it. 3 months later, we were both successful. 3 months later. Now, mind you, he was successful with his first product. I was successful with my third product. All of our journeys are different. It's not just because your friend or someone you see online is going to be successful with their first product or second product doesn't mean that's the same thing that's going to happen to you. You have to walk down your path. You have to go along your own journey. And just like in this amazing book, The Alchemist by Paulo Coelho, the main character, he goes along this journey through Africa, just basically putting one foot in front of the other along his own personal destiny to find his, I think it's personal legend, right? And so we all have our own personal legends. We all have our own personal destinies that we have to march towards. And so for me, what happened was my first Amazon FBA product failed. My second product failed, but my third product succeeded. And the failures, I already had a good mindset. And this is really, really important. We're going to get into this here in a second. I already built up a good enough mindset from all the books that I was reading to understand that there's no such thing as failure. There's only learning. So there's only two things, either success or a lesson. It's not like either success or failure. The only reason that you can make failure exist for yourself is if you quit. And so I just knew, I set the goal for myself, $10,000 a month with my Amazon FBA business within 6 months. And within 3 months, I went from 0 to $32,000 a month in sales with that product. And I was on top of the world. Mind you, that was revenue, that was not profit, but I had a substantial profit margin. My profit, if I remember correctly, was about 46%. And so that was when I realized that this was possible. Everything that I had been taught in my life was incorrect, about money and about happiness and about freedom. And so that's when I went all in on Amazon FBA, all in on e-commerce, all in on entrepreneurship. All along, and this is a big shout out to Jungle Scout, because all along I was using Jungle Scout, which I still use today, every single day, not only for Amazon FBA, but for Shopify. Whenever myself and my team were looking for new product opportunities, which that's what we're doing now, we're growing and investing in new e-commerce brands. And then we're also coaching on the side as well through my company, Ecom Freedom. We always use Jungle Scout because Jungle Scout has just been the most user-friendly, has had the best, most accurate data, and it's just been the best tool out of any other tool out there. So huge shout out to Jungle Scout. And so that year in 2017 was just the most revolutionary year of my life. Ever since then, my life has just been such an amazing adventure. I have grown in every single way possible because success is not about the money that you make. Success is about the person you become. And the person I am today, because I found out about Amazon FBA and because I trusted myself and I had the courage to pursue my dreams, is a person that is just operating on a whole other level. That year, I also started my YouTube channel because I always wanted to inspire people. I always wanted to talk about entrepreneurship. And at the time, I remember that there weren't a lot of people talking about online business on YouTube. And the ones that were, they were really sketchy. Like, it's just not really believable what they were saying. And so that's when I started my YouTube channel. I started making videos about what was working for me in my Amazon FBA business. And then that's when people started to ask me to make a course. And so I made a course. And then that's how Ecom Freedom was born, my coaching company. And since then, we have been one of the most successful Amazon FBA courses of all time. We've helped over 15,000 people start successful Amazon FBA businesses, and it's just been an incredible ride. And there's nothing that makes me happier and more fulfilled than seeing people come in with no experience, taking my program and just going through it and achieving amazing success. Later that same year, about 9-10 months after I actually found out about Amazon FBA in March of 2017, by December, I already made my first million in combination from my e-commerce product sales on Amazon as well as my course, which was just incredible. So I became a 21-year-old millionaire. I was just about to turn 22. And ever since then, it's just been a wild ride up. Now, as I've mentioned, I've had the amazing honor and blessing to have coached over 15,000 people and helped them start their own e-commerce businesses on Amazon FBA and Shopify and really build successful brands. And through that, through literally speaking to new entrepreneurs every single day and helping them and mentoring them, I can 110% without a doubt say that the number one factor in determining whether someone is going to be successful or not is their mindset. No question about it. Well, what is mindset? The term is thrown around all the time on YouTube and in self-development circles. If you go on Google and you type in mindset, define mindset, you'll see that the definition is the established set of attitudes held by someone. The established set of attitudes held by someone. So basically that means that if I looked at myself, going into entrepreneurship, going into e-commerce, and I compared that person before to after where I'm at today, the established set of attitudes that I have is completely and totally different than when I was going in. For example, for somebody getting started with entrepreneurship, they are still very much led by their paradigms and their beliefs and their own self-image, which limits them. One of the biggest battles that you face as a new entrepreneur is you're always trying to fight off these fears that you have and these limiting beliefs that you have about yourself that no one else really believes, that you believe and that you really think are true. For example, that most millionaires are. For example, one of the things that I used to think was that most millionaires, the money was passed down to them and they weren't actually self-made. Then I realized that I read a statistic, 80% of millionaires were self-made. And so that's what gave me motivation also to pursue the same path. Another thing that I believed was that being rich is not something that's important in life. And anyway, most people that try to get rich fail. So why should I even try? And so that was a belief that I had, and I had to really, fight in a way to counter that belief. It wasn't so difficult. Reading all these books really helped me, as well as just putting one foot in front of the other and going along my personal journey and not backing down when I met any obstacles and just continuing and just, pushing the foot on the gas pedal until I reached my goal. I would definitely say most people that try to start Amazon FBA, their mindset is what ultimately screws them up, because a lot of people they try to succeed without really learning the mindset. They try to build a successful business without trying to even understand the mindset of the world's greatest and most successful people, because that mindset is the same mindset. So there is something that really separates the most successful people in the world from everybody else, and that is their set of beliefs, what they believe about themselves, what they believe about life, and their worldview. And so I knew that I had to adopt that worldview. I knew that I had to adopt those beliefs first if I wanted to achieve any kind of success, especially lasting success. And so I mentioned paradigms and beliefs, right? Well, what's a paradigm? This actually came from a book, The 7 Habits of Highly Effective People, which I have read in this bookshelf here. It's a book that I also read during that time when I was reading a lot. I still read a lot. I've read over like 400 books since then. And in The 7 Habits of Highly Effective People, Stephen Covey, the author, talks about this topic of paradigms. How everything we do in life and who we are is shaped by our paradigms, which essentially are our sets of beliefs. It's just a fancy word to say that. And so as I went along my journey, and as I read more and more books, as I ventured further and further down along my path, that's when I really started to change my paradigms. And so I changed my paradigms, I changed my mindset from a fixed mindset to a growth mindset. So before, I used to think that life just happened to me and I'm just kind of like a floating plastic bag in the wind, and wherever the wind blows, that's where I'm gonna go. I changed my mindset from that to a growth mindset, meaning that I'm the director and creator of my life, and that whatever I manifest is gonna be the product of my own work combined with the work of the universe, the work of God, and the higher power, whatever you want to call him or it. I knew that it was me plus that. And so that was a very substantial factor in my success, and it's the same thing that I teach in all my courses. First of all, if you want to succeed, you first have to believe that it's possible for you. You have to believe it's possible for you. So that was the first step, changing my paradigms and beliefs, and that's also the first step for you in rewiring your mindset. The second step was my self-image. I had also read an amazing book, which is also in this bookshelf here. Actually, there's 2 copies of it. I ordered 2 books by accident sometimes, but it's called Psycho-Cybernetics by Maxwell Maltz. And so this book was actually written by a California plastic surgeon, and he realized that instead of actually sometimes performing the plastic surgery, he could actually get the same change in confidence level by simply having the patient change their self-image. And so instead, he almost kind of took on like the role of a therapist, and he sat down with the patient and he basically worked on their self-image along with them. And what a self-image is your projected idea of yourself and your projected beliefs about yourself, how you look, your traits and your drawbacks and your positive and negative traits, basically. Until you truly see yourself in your own self-image of yourself as somebody who can succeed with Amazon FBA, you're never going to succeed. And so that's really a big part of this, is rewiring your self-image. One thing that I do every single morning is I write down my self-image of myself. And the self-image has to be accurate. It's not something that that you lie to yourself about. It's accurate, but it's also kind of like molding yourself into who you want to become based on reality, based on yourself, right? So that's something that I've been doing ever since. It's really helped me, and I've achieved every single thing that I've written down about myself and my goals and things like that I write down every single morning. You really have to have some kind of trigger or epiphany about yourself. For me, like I said, seeing that 21-year-old kid on YouTube killing it, seeing myself in him was such a big motivator that it just pushed me like nothing else. The thing about Amazon FBA specifically is that, and why I love this business model so much, is that anybody can succeed. If you were to take 100 completely random and successful Amazon FBA sellers from all around the world, all different countries, you'll find they all come from very different backgrounds. All of them, or most of them, probably have no formal training at all in Amazon FBA. They just decided to do it and to just figure it out and achieve success. And they had to go through the exact same mindset reprogramming and self-image reprogramming to achieve any kind of success. So mindset really is what will create lasting success. You can go and you can try to start a business, an Amazon FBA business, you can get a product up and running, but if you don't have the mindset, your fears and your own limitations will eventually be your Achilles heel, and they'll eventually be the death of your business. And so until you really reprogram your mindset, there will be no lasting success. A lot of people, like I mentioned, they don't want to learn this stuff, and they just say, show me how to make the money. They think that the money is in buying Bitcoin or in buying Ripple or in buying some stock or gold or cryptocurrency or starting some specific business. And even though I am talking about Amazon FBA, like I said, it's not any one business or any one stock or any one asset class that's going to make you money. It's your mindset. The truth about all this, everything I'm saying, is that until you achieve and really adopt a strong and impenetrable mindset with yourself, you will not be able to achieve lasting success. Now, as I go further and further into mindset, one thing that really helped me in my life, tremendously helped me in my life, is the law of attraction. And it's gotten really popular recently with books like The Secret, with TikTok, manifestation, and all these things. It is so important. And some people choose not to believe in the law of attraction. What the law of attraction basically is, if you're not familiar, is that you see it, you believe it, and it happens for you. And as long as you keep seeing it and believing that it will happen for you, it's going to happen for you. That's the law of attraction. And so what shocks me is that a lot of people choose not to believe in the law of attraction. In reality, your life is essentially dictated by what you believe in. If you believe that you can't succeed, if you believe, for example, the law of attraction is not real, how are you going to achieve any success in your life, right? And also I ask people that don't believe in the law of attraction, why would you choose not to believe in something that can only help you and not hurt you? Even if the law of attraction is not true, at least it's some kind of a placebo effect. At least there's some kind of a motivating factor there, right? But some people, no matter what you tell them, they just will not. They're just stubborn. They will not. Their limiting beliefs and paradigms are so deeply ingrained in their head that no matter what you tell them, they just can't. It's just so difficult. It's like the saying, don't try to teach a pig to dance because it won't be able to dance and you'll only piss off the pig. Something like that. I have a lot of quotes in my mind. But, the law of attraction, massively important, and it's something that really helped me. I recommend the book The Secret to really study that as well as Think and Grow Rich by Napoleon Hill and Outwitting the Devil by Napoleon Hill. Really significant books. Now, there is one correct way of using the law of attraction, and actually it's not the way that's taught in The Secret. And I'll say that it's correct for me. It's up to you to kind of interpret this in your own way, but I'll tell you what I do. So for me, I actually read The Secret and I also read a fantastic book called Reality Transurfing by Vadim Zeland, which is a different theory of reality. It also talks about how to achieve your dreams and how to achieve your kind of like dream life. But the difference between the law of attraction and reality transurfing is substantial. In the law of attraction, the book teaches you that you have to place a lot of importance on your goals, and you have to always think about it and always kind of almost long for your goals. And just keep going and have this deep wanting and desire for your goals. Whereas in reality transurfing, he also mentions that yes, you want to think about your goals. It's called adopting the target slide. You want to think about your goals. You want to kind of look at your life as if you have a slide, and that slide is your dream life. However, the difference is that reality transurfing says that you should not long for your goals and you should not have this deep longing and wanting. And instead, you should just treat your goals as if it's just the logical next step on your journey. It's going to happen. That's it. That's what you're attracting in your life. And instead of always having this deep importance and deep emotional connection to it, you should just put one foot in front of the other until you achieve it, simply. And I like that. I like that a lot. And I think that that theory of reality has really helped me because I've gotten stuck in periods where I'm just working my ass off, working so hard on my e-commerce businesses, on my coaching business, that no matter what I do, it's like I'm fighting to achieve my goals, and the goals just get kind of like further and further away. Whereas when I adopted this combination of the law of attraction and reality transurfing theory, that's when everything started coming to me really easily and almost effortlessly, because everything in my life now, I love doing it. Like I love, talking about success, talking about what has worked for me, and really helping people do this as well in their lives. So that is why mindset is so substantial in achieving success, lasting success on Amazon FBA. Now, this is not for everyone. This journey is a long and doesn't have to be a hard journey, but it's definitely a long journey. It's a lifelong journey as you step into becoming an entrepreneur, and as you really get this going for yourself. You have to realize that entrepreneurship is, in society standards, a crazy thing. It's really for the 1%. If you look at the Forbes, top 100, 200, whatever list, you look at the world's richest people, most of them are entrepreneurs. I think almost all of them. So obviously society rewards successful entrepreneurs the most. But at the same time, it's important to realize entrepreneurship is for those select few in society who are crazy enough, labeled crazy enough by society, to go against everything they're told, take a risk, and really kind of almost try to fight for a life that no one else can live. And as I already talked about, there's no fighting. There doesn't have to be any fighting. You just put one foot in front of the other. But the truth about all this is that it doesn't have to be this black and white. The best life by far is if you have freedom. And to achieve freedom in our society, at least today, becoming a successful entrepreneur is definitely the best way of doing that. And going against conventional wisdom is just what's required. It's just a step along the way. One of the best pieces of advice that I ever received in my life, one of the best billionaire pieces of advice was, if you want to live an amazing life, just don't do what everyone else does. And I live my life every single day by that mantra. It's amazing. So I hope that resonates with you as well, just as much as it did with me when I heard it. I want to leave you with 5 substantial mindset tips for success that will stay with you for the rest of your life and will really guide you, especially when you're facing obstacles in entrepreneurship. You get those rainy days. It's not always a sunny day. Sometimes you get the rainy days and you get the stormy days, you get the hurricanes. But you got to get through the hurricanes to get to the sunny days. Right? That's the balance. It's the flow of life, the seasons. So tip number 1, either you succeed or you learn. There is no failure unless you quit. It's so important to realize that. The only way that you can actually manifest failure in your life is if you quit. Because even though I had failures along my journey, I realized I only had to win once. And once I got my first winning product, that's what gave me the confidence to go all in, everything, and just keep growing my success from there. So either you succeed or you learn. Number 2, as I said, you can't fail if you don't quit. So Never quit, you're never gonna fail. That's how you ensure success for yourself. It's the only way to guarantee it, actually. Number 3, it's harder to stay on top of the mountain than it is to climb it. So important. A lot of people think that once they get their first product up and running, that's it, the work is done. When in reality, the work is just getting started. To stay on top, how many basketball players, they become famous and then they, really get all this wealth and they lose it all, right? Or they land in jail for tax evasion or something like that. Who knows, right? How many successful people, they're only successful for a little bit and then they lose it all. That's because they don't realize that it takes more work to remain successful and keep growing your success than it takes to actually achieve it. That's not a bad thing, because when you're on your freedom lifeline, as I call it, the lifeline where you're doing what you love, you're really just living an amazing life, you're making tons of money with your business, you are doing what you love, you have amazing relationships in your life, both loving and friendly friendship relationships, right? So that's why, just important to understand, harder to stay on top of the mountain than it is to climb it, but it will not feel like work. It's going to feel like joy, and it's going to feel like something that you love to do. The next tip, if you want the best, you have to be the best. And this really comes down to your Amazon FBA business. So you can't expect to succeed if your product is not that good. If you want to make the best money on Amazon, you have to also be the best. That's how life works. Just like in dating, if you want to attract the most attractive people, the most attractive person, well, obviously you have to also be very attractive yourself. Right? That's just how it works. Like attracts like. And so on Amazon, if you apply it to business, it's the same thing. So just remember, focus on quality to really build out that brand long term. And finally, think big. This is the most important by far. One of the best books on this is The Magic of Thinking Big, David Schwartz, I believe. Amazing book, because your success in life ends up being in direct proportion to the level at which you're thinking. So the level of your goals and how big you're thinking. Thank you very much for listening to my 30, 40 minute, maybe even 50 minute, I don't know how long this is, talk about mindset and success. I hope I didn't bore you too much with my journey and with everything I had to say, but I think that it was substantial. I think that it's incredibly helpful. If I was on the other end of this and it's like me talking to my 21-year-old self, I would feel so motivated to continue and go after my goals and just see that there is really such massive rewards lying on the other side of this journey, and there really is. That's something that is so important to realize, that you will succeed and it's only a matter of time. Thank you very much. You can find me on Instagram at DanVass. You can DM me. I always answer my DMs. Also, if you'd like, you can also get the best Amazon FBA course coaching in the world, www.ecomfreedom.com/Amazon. We got a 7-day free trial, so you can check that out as well. Shopify as well, www.shopifyfreedom.com/now. And if you want between 1 and 10K investment, you want to partner up with myself as well as my team of successful sellers, then you can go ahead and apply at www.ecomfreedom.com/VC. Thank you so much, JungleCon. I'll see you later.
Thank you, Dan, for sharing your experience on the mindset it takes to become a successful Amazon seller. That was such a valuable session, and I think almost everyone looking to become an Amazon seller should really start thinking about some of the strategies Dan just mentioned to get yourself into the entrepreneurial mindset. Now, I want to hear from you. What's one new habit you're going to start incorporating into your daily life so that you can start hitting your business goals this year? Let us know in the comments down below. And if you've gotten any value from this session, please let us know by giving this video a big thumbs up. Now, we've been hearing all your questions throughout the day, so make sure you stick around for this next session where our in-house Jungle Scout sellers will answer all your questions live in this upcoming AMA. So make sure to have your questions ready. I'll see you in the next session.